Hello, everyone. Okay. Ensight, ECG, Ensight, Khera. It's a novel paradigm in cardiovascular disease diagnostics. I'm Rohan Khera. I'm a cardiologist and data scientist at Khera. I'm joined by Veer Sanga, who is a Yale computer science graduate, and Harun Krum, who's a renowned cardiovascular outcome researcher, and other members of my team who are here today. The problem we're trying to solve is for the majority of cardiovascular disorders today, we rely on advanced cardiac imaging for both diagnosis and treatment monitoring, making it impossible for us to get enough people enrolled in clinical trials, enough people on therapies, and then making treatment itself very cost prohibitive for many of our patients and for our stakeholders in pharma and healthcare. We thought there had to be a better solution for diagnosing these conditions, and we focused on ECGs. These age-old paper printouts that you see on the top left, still used in clinical practice, and increasingly stuff that you can get on your Apple Watch, on any wearable device. In our lab at Yale, we built a large repository of individuals who had undergone cardiac imaging and ECGs, built deep learning models that are designed to detect these disorders directly from images or photos of ECGs and from wearable devices. So that now we have this transformative technology that using this low-cost ECG tool, we can diagnose disorders that humans cannot see on these ECGs and are available world over and increasingly accessible on your watch, on your phone, directly at the level of the person. So what we are doing right now is we can scan the entirety of health systems of people who have undergone an ECG before ever, and identify anybody who's had a misdiagnosis of a cardiovascular disorder that we can pick up using our tools. Not only health system level screens, we can offer this directly to hospitals and to clinicians to use in their practice to do this diagnosis while they're acquiring ECGs in their clinical practice. And we're targeting a very important area, an unmet need, an area which has seen substantial investment in novel pharmaceutical development. And who are our customers? Anybody who's ever had an ECG or will have an ECG in the future. Anybody who's getting an ECG on their watch right now or will get in the future can use our technology to not only know if they have a rhythm disorder, but also if they have these advanced structural heart disorders that lurk under the skin. And it's just not one product. It's a suite of products. We have many separate disorders that we diagnose using ECGs that span different elements of the heart, valve disorders, structural heart disorders, disorders of the muscle, each with a different stakeholder, different pharma partner, many of whom are working directly with us today. And within the next 12 months, many of these, we would be in various stages of regulatory approval, including one that we are filing for breakthrough device designation in the next few weeks. And we have a multi-stage strategy to go to business. And this is specifically designed to make sure that we can impact as many lives as quickly as possible. We are currently working with pharma partners to actually work with hospitals directly to enroll people in clinical trials before we get regulatory approval for our products. Our regulatory team is working hard to get our regulatory approval in the next year so we can have a tool that every clinician in the US can use within the next 12 months. And finally, buoyed by our partners who want community-level screening for these disorders as early as possible, we're working with consumer-facing products which work with wearable devices in the following 12 months. And there are competitors in this space, and these all have an interest in ECG-based diagnostics. But we have a distinguishing feature. We work with photos of ECGs directly. And if any clinician in the room would tell you that there is no access to raw voltage data for a clinician in their practice, even though all these competitors trying to work with raw voltage data. We have built tools that span multiple different disorders, often exceeding all our competitors. And then we have diverse populations built in inner city population and reliable, robust models. And we have proven beyond doubt that our tools are versatile, are globally interoperable, and can actually be scaled infinitely. And I'll give you one example, and one of the last things I would mention, is this tool, Smart LV. This detects if you have a weak heart muscle. 5% of US adults have this disorder, and 7 in 8 of those people are not diagnosed before the onset of symptoms. Losing that critical window where you can intervene with interventions and therapies. Many of them are being developed every day. And what we have done so far is we've built this tool We've actually validated multiple sites, and we have a STAR regulatory team working with us to get this through breakthrough device. And we're doing this with help from many partners and funding from both internal and external. And we are focusing on a seed round right now, and I'll leave you with this slide, which is a functional demo, which I can show you after the presentation. Thank you.